welcome to Edinburgh Napier MBA webinar. My name is Helen Spyropoulos and I'm the Admissions Manager at Stafford Associates. Now, Mr. Mehmet Bagga, who's the Director of the MBA programs from Edinburgh Napier, was unfortunately taken away to go through to a very important meeting. So unfortunately, he's not here this evening to conduct this webinar. So I will actually take you through the process. Okay, so very briefly, I am going to introduce you to Stafford Associates and what we do, and then I'm going to chat briefly about the MBA program. And right at the end of the presentation, I am going to open up the question box, so you'll be able to see that on the right-hand side of your system, so you can actually type in any questions that you'd like to ask me, and I'll obviously look through them. I will try and group them together because a lot of the questions are very similar, if not identical. Okay, so let's get started. Now, who are we? Who is Stafford? Now, the mere fact that you are here this evening means that you have been in touch with one of our experienced academic consultants. Now, Stafford Associates was established in 1993, and we are a resource centre for distance learning education in the Middle East. Now, we are currently the resource centre for 6 UK universities, and we are functional across 4 continents. Now, we do offer a variety of programs, starting from certificates right through to bachelor's, to MBAs, MScs, master's programs in education, right through until doctorates. So we really do have all the programs for your personal and your professional needs. Now, the main aim at Stafford is to assist you throughout your application process. So you obviously have been in touch with one of our experienced academic consultants. They will be able to assist you throughout the presentation process, and then you can actually send all the documentation through to the university, and we'll get that unconditional offer for you. And we also offer some administrative as well as some academic support. Now, who is Edinburgh Napier University? Now, Edinburgh Napier is actually listed in the top 5% of universities worldwide. It has got an excellent reputation, and it has been voted as Scotland's best modern university quite recently. Now, they are number 1 in the UK for nurturing student talent. So they are actually quite prominent, especially in their teaching. They have been rated with 5 QS stars for teaching as well as employability. They do have a 95% graduate employability rate, and their research department is very, very strong. And they obviously do have quite a lot of students from across the globe. At the moment, there's over 20,000 students from 130 countries. There are approximately 6,000 students that are studying with their online programs, and at the moment they have approximately 14,000 students that are currently on the actual campus. Now, what is global online? Why should you actually do a program via distance learning? Well, the program via distance learning obviously offers you the flexibility to study. So you can study at your own pace to suit your personal, your work life, and any other commitments that you may have. It is very unique, this particular university, with their online platform. They do have a lot of resources that are available, and they have a very, very strong dedicated support team and lecturing team. Now, the beauty about being online distance learning is that you do have global exposure. So this particular slide here can actually show you exactly where their distance learning students predominantly are based. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of students coming from the Middle East and Africa, and Stafford Associates is obviously the partner of Edinburgh Napier University, particularly in the Middle East and in Africa. So they really do have a far-reaching global exposure. Now, the Edinburgh Napier MBA is designed to actually suit everyone's needs. And what we mean by that is you can choose to actually do a general MBA, or if you so wish, you can choose 12 specialist routes. So if you're looking for something quite specific that you are an expert in a specific field, we may have that specialist route that would be quite interesting to you. Now, there are compulsory modules that need to be undertaken irrespective of which route you choose. Now, the compulsory modules, as you can see, are building and marketing high-performing organizations, your economics and finance module, management and organizational change, and leading strategic decision making. And obviously the very most important compulsory modules are your research skills and your final one, which is your dissertation. Now, if you wish to do any of the specialist routes, you would then need to actually add another 2 optional modules. Okay, the next slide will basically show you some of the specialist routes. So as I mentioned, you can do a general MBA, or you could choose to do an MBA with a banking specialization or entrepreneurship, event management, health management, finance, tourism. The most popular one at the moment is also human resource management. There's even an MBA in informatics or information systems. Popular one as well is leadership and innovation, and logistics and supply management, again also very popular, as is marketing and sales and project management. So that gives you an idea of the specialist routes that are available, and the modules that are listed under those specialist routes are the 2 optional modules that need to be taken for that particular specialist route. Okay. Now, how do you actually study this particular program? The whole program is online distance learning, and there's a lot of interactive resources available to you. Now, as a student, you will get access to the university online library, and they have thousands and thousands of journals and recommended text that you would actually have access to for all your modules. You will also be given your course material, and I'll just briefly go through what each course module actually entails as well. Now, it's very important that when you do start the program, you actually do the induction. Now, every university does encourage students, specifically if you're doing the online program, to undertake the induction at the beginning of the program. Now, the induction is basically run over a week. And that is to basically familiarize yourselves with the online platform, where you'll be able to find the course material, how you can upload your assignments, where you can find all your online resources, and how you can communicate with students across the globe, as well as your tutors, and as well as the other support that you'll get at the university. So it is imperative that you do that induction in the beginning of your program. Now, every single module has got its own module leader or module tutor. So every single module will have what they call a module overview, which is a very short video about the program. And every single module has got what they call 10 units that you would need to actually complete. Now, there are learning outcomes for every unit, so you will know exactly what needs to be covered in that unit and what you should actually understand from that particular unit. There is a very short unit introduction video as well. You will also be told what your prescribed readings or essential readings are for that particular unit. And again, all the essential readings can be found on the online university site. There will also be self-assessment questions and reflective exercises at the end of every unit. And that's very important for you to do, because this will obviously let you know that you understand that particular unit. You will also have a unit summary, which basically summarizes the entire unit in bullet points. And you'll have what they call a little progressive test at the end of each unit. So you do really have to try and follow these instructions that the tutors do give you so that you can understand every unit per module. We do encourage the students to also do any further reading that may enhance that particular unit. Again, your tutors will be able to give you some guidance on that. And again, you can find it all on your university online library, or you're very welcome to even do some Google research on your own. Okay, so how is the program actually delivered? There will be discussion topics. Now, you will be able to have what they call a discussion forum. Your tutors will initiate some discussion topics, and this is where you will be communicating with your tutor as well as the students worldwide. There will also be case studies that the tutor will give you, and there will also be assessments per module. And this is the beauty about this program. There are no examinations, which I'm sure a lot of you are very happy to hear. So the assessments are all assignment-based that do get uploaded on your university site. You will also be given some sample assessments, so you are aware of how assessments are conducted, or what can be covered in assessment. And very importantly, you have what they call WebEx virtual office hours. Now, that is where the university will advise when there will be a live chat, where you can actually join that. The university does understand, because it is global, that not everybody can actually join that live WebEx. So the WebEx do get recorded so that you can go back and review them at your own leisure. Okay, so the next slide just basically gives you an idea of what your platform will look like. This particular one just mentions the module Managing Innovation, which is one of your modules. You'll be able to see the introductory video, and on your right-hand side, you'll be able to see your online videos, your quizzes, workbooks, any forums. So it's actually quite user-friendly, and everything is really available at your fingertips. Now, again, this basically shows you what your modules would look like. So, for example, you will start off with a module overview. As mentioned, a short little video gives you an idea of what the module is all about. You'll then be able to do your end of test or your end of unit small little test or self-assessment. Again, there it is right there in front of you. And you'll be able to obviously get more external resources for that particular unit as well. So this just gives you an idea of what your platform will actually look like. There is a place on the platform where you will interact with other students as well as your tutor. So this particular slide shows you what your platform will look like. There's a section of announcements, and again, you can see if your tutor or even if any of the other students have posted any announcements. The most important section there is the point number 2, which is the academic discussion forum. This is where the tutor will be posting some topics or any comments, and this is the platform where you will be able to communicate with your peers. Then there's a chat forum as well, where you will be able to do more discussions, probably even personal discussions with the tutor or with other students. And again, as I mentioned, there's the virtual office hours, and this is the WebEx I was chatting about. Here, for example, it gives you an idea of when this was scheduled, which was Tuesday, the 16th of January at 1 p.m. So they obviously let you know when these WebExes will occur. If you can join, that's great. If not, it gets recorded. And obviously, you'll be able to see on your left-hand side just a sort of a unit. So it tells you exactly what the units are about and what is covered. And again, the flexibility of you being able to get that resources. One very important aspect about the online platform as well is for you to be able to jot down your notes and your thoughts in your own space. And this is basically an idea or an example on this particular sheet of how you can actually do that. So it's not really necessary for you to sit and jot down any information in a journal that you have. This can be done online, and it can actually be saved as well. So this is your personal space where you can put all your thoughts and your notes per unit. Okay, so operational roles. Now, who is going to assist you throughout this program? Now, very importantly, your academic leader or your program module leader is the most important person. This is the person that is academically going to get you through the program. Over and above that, the university does also have what they call the online support team. Now, the support team is basically there to provide you with non-academic support. So they monitor the students' progress on modules. If you have any queries regarding your pass mark, for example, or you may not be able to view a module, anything technical can actually be managed by the Global Online Support team. So the support that you'll get from the university is imperative, and it's imperative actually for you to get in contact with the university. Now, contact with the university only happens via your Edinburgh Napier email address. So every single student that does apply for the program and starts the program gets issued with their own personal Edinburgh Napier email address. And this is how you communicate also with your tutors as well as the online support team. They will not be able to answer any queries on your personal Gmail account or Yahoo account. Okay, so just bear that in mind when you do start the program, but your online support team will obviously remind you of that. Now, very importantly is how do you get into this very, very good program? Now, there are two ways of getting into the program, and the first way is academically, and the second way is what we call a non-standard entry. Now, to get into the program on an academic level, you need to have an undergraduate degree, which is equivalent to a UK Level 6 honours. And you need to demonstrate at least 2 years supervisory or management experience. Now, for those of you who do not hold a bachelor degree, or you may have lost your degree, you can actually apply for the program on what we call a non-standard entry. And a non-standard entry means you need to demonstrate at least 5 years or more strong managerial work experience. So your CV is imperative when they evaluate your actual application. You need to make sure that your roles and responsibilities pertaining to your management roles are actually quite strong and visible. And this is how they are going to make the decision on whether you can actually enter it on a non-standard entry. Now, every university does also have a relevant English requirement. I do encourage you to get in touch with your Stafford academic consultant, and they'll be able to advise you more on the methods for that English requirement. Okay, now in order to apply for the program, you have an application deadline which is looming. It's on the 26th of August. And the program will start on the 9th of September, so we really don't have much time to get your application documents in. Now, the beauty about the program that is starting now in September is that the students that do apply through Stafford will be given a Stafford exclusive grant of $1,000 US. So I do encourage you to get in touch with your academic consultant, and they'll be able to actually advise you on how that works. The fees are payable in a very flexible monthly installment, so do get in touch with your academic consultant to provide you more details on that as well. Okay, so I'm now going to actually open up the question section, the forum, so that you can actually sit and type in all your questions that you may have. And as I said, I'm going to try and actually group them all together. Okay, so I can see already Naja's question, does the course have any accredited certificates? Okay, very good question there, Naja. Now, this particular program is currently undergoing ACSB accreditation, which is an American accrediting body. Now, the accreditation process can take anything between 5 and 7 years. Okay, and you know, you can contact the university and they'll give you some guidance on that as well. But at the moment, it is not fully credited yet, but they are in the process of undertaking that. Okay, and the next question is, how much time can I actually complete this program, in how many years? Okay, very good question as well. Now, the beauty about the program is it can be finished between 21 and 33 months. Now, for students that want to complete the program in the shortest period of time, you can pick up 2 modules simultaneously per trimester. Now, bear in mind that the average time that you should be spending on a module per week is anything between 10 to 15 hours dedication to a module. Now, for those students that wish to pick up 2 modules per trimester, you would need to spend a little bit more than 10 to 15 hours per week. So you've got to really look at, have you got the time to dedicate to 2 modules at the same time, bearing in mind that you also have to submit 2 assessments at the same time. In the event that you wish to start with 1 module, which is advisable, and you feel that you can manage 2 modules, in the following trimester, you can pick up 2 modules. So again, there's the flexibility, but we do really advise to start off with 1 module and then go on to 2 if you so wish. The university will not allow you to take more than 2 modules because it is physically impossible to try and manage those 2 modules. Maximum time period that you can finish the program is 4 years. But we do have a lot of our students that do complete it within a 24-month period. Okay, is distance learning mentioned on my degree certificate and academic transcripts? Okay, excellent question. We get this question all the time. No, absolutely not. The program is run exactly the same as if you were a full-time student. So the degree certificate that you will be obtaining is identical to that is issued to a full-time student. Furthermore, you will also be invited to go and attend the graduation at the university in Scotland. So you will be able to graduate with the full-time students as well as students that are doing it online across the globe. So no mention of online distance learning. You're very welcome to get in touch with your academic consultant in Stafford, and they will be able to also provide you with sample certificates and transcripts so that you can see exactly what your degree certificate will look like. Okay, and Sophia's question, I have completed my degree in English. Do I really need to provide an IELTS or any other English proficiency? Okay, now in general, a degree that has been completed in an English medium institution may not require an IELTS or any English proficiency. But as I have said prior, please do get in touch with your academic consultant, because there are various ways of meeting that English requirement, and so they'll be able to advise you on that. Okay, I have completed a postgraduate diploma from Ghana. Okay, welcome, excellent. Will the university provide me with credits? Ah, very good. Okay, so yes, the university will look at credit exemption. You need to ensure, however, that you have completed your postgraduate diploma in the past 5 years. Anything older than that, unfortunately, the university will not be able to give you any credits. Furthermore, for students that do want to apply for credits, we do strongly advise that you submit the learning outcomes of the modules that you have completed. And this is important for the university because they will be able to map what you have covered with their current modules to see if the learning outcomes are the same. And that is how they'll be able to actually grant you some credit exemptions. So if you are looking for credit exemptions, do try and send that application in as soon as possible, because credit exemptions does take a while because it goes to a panel of academics to assess. So do try and get that to us as soon as possible. Okay, can I do a double major? Okay, unfortunately, the university does not allow students to do a double major or a double MBA. How do I get a student card if I'm a distance learning student? Okay, again, a very, very good question. Okay, so every single student, whether you are an online distance learning student or a full-time student, does get issued with a student card. What would happen is the university will post your student card to you. So please ensure that the address that you provide to your Stafford consultant is the address that you would like your student card to be delivered to. The student cards do get delivered to you anything between 8 and 12 weeks. As I said, it gets posted, it does not get couriered. Okay, and if you do provide the incorrect address, then it gets sent back to the university. So just make sure that you have got the correct address. Okay, if I fail an assignment, do I get a critical review and then do resubmit? Yes, you do. And that again is the beauty about the support that you will get from your tutors at the university. If I cannot submit my assignment in my due date due to unforeseen circumstances, can I get an extension? Okay, very good question. The university does understand that there may be circumstances beyond your control. What you would then need to do is email your tutor as well as your global support team, advising them of your circumstance. Then this obviously gets reviewed by the program leader, and 9 out of 10 times, yes, there is an extension. But obviously it must be unforeseen circumstances. But yes, there is that possibility. Can I take one core and one optional module at the same time? Okay, now what would happen with regards to module availability is the university, as well as our administrative team here at Stafford, will be able to provide you with a list of what modules are available or what modules are running per semester. So if you are going to decide to take 2 modules simultaneously, and your core module and optional modules are available in that trimester, then yes, you can take 1 core and 1 optional module. Again, that depends on what is running in that particular trimester. Is it possible for me to start my online studies and then transfer onto the campus in the UK? Okay, very good question. The program is, as I said, exactly the same as if you were doing it full time. The only difference is the pace at which an online student does their program as compared to a student that does it full time. This full-time student may complete it in a very short period of time simply because that student is on campus every single day and goes to lectures every single day. Your online student has the flexibility to obviously finish the program in a maximum of 4 years. Now, if you do want to take that opportunity to go and study at the university, fees will be different, timetable will obviously be different. So you would have to get in contact with the university to see at what point they can slot you in at the university to attend full-time. Bear in mind, students that do full-time are the ones that permanently reside in the UK. So if you have the time to actually go and study in the UK and change from online to full-time, you've got to take that into consideration, that you will be residing in the UK. Can I visit my tutors on campus when I'm on holiday, and will I get a visa for this? Okay, very good question. Yes, if you are a current student of the university, you are very, very welcome to go and visit your tutors as the campus. As a matter of fact, they actually encourage that. What you would need to do is email your tutor that you want to go and see and make sure that they are available at the same time that you will go and see them. In terms of obtaining a visa to do that, the university will be able to provide you with a letter or an invitation letter, and also confirmation that you are a student and that you can give to the relevant authorities in your country in order to get the visa. Okay, if I cannot attend my graduation, how do I actually get my degree certificate? Also a very good question. If you cannot attend the graduation, the university will be able to send your degree certificate and transcripts to you. Again, the graduation department will be in touch with you to get all your details, and they'll be able to send that through to you. However, we do encourage you to attend the graduation. It's really an auspicious occasion. It's great to see your tutors face to face, as well as all the students that you've been in touch with throughout your studies across the globe. So do take your family and friends as well. It's really quite a nice event. Okay, in your opinion, do you advise that I take 2 modules? Now, I've already discussed that briefly. You really need to look and see that you do have the time to dedicate to those 2 modules per week. As I said, on average 10 to 15 hours for 1 module. If you're going to pick up 2, you would need to actually add a lot more time. Okay, is induction very important? Yes, I have already touched on that. It is very important to attend your induction. What is covered during the induction is what is expected of you on this MBA. They're going to also be able to tell you how to navigate on your online study platform, how to submit assignments, where you can find your external resources. So yes, induction is very, very important that you do try and attend that or go through that. Why are there no examinations in this MBA like any other traditional MBA? Okay, so this university has done quite a lot of research on that, and they have found that in general students prefer to do your assignments simply because you can actually put what you're currently studying as well as what you're currently working into your assignments. Examinations tend to be very academic and almost rote learning, and strategically they have found that students do prefer to actually do the assignments than to take time off to go and study and write examinations. How are the tutors available to me? Are they available on Fridays and Saturdays, as this is our weekend in the Middle East? Again, a very, very good question. Your tutors are available UK times and days, working days, which is Monday to Friday. Saturdays and Sundays, they are not available. However, again, you're very welcome to get in contact with your tutors via email or through the online platform. You'll be able to post whatever you need to post, and your online tutor will then be able to respond to that. But do bear in mind that they're only there Monday to Friday. Some of them are also available telephonically. And obviously the communication that you have with them will be able to tell you if they are available and what time they are available for a telephone call. Okay, can I suspend my studies for a short period of time due to unforeseen circumstances? Yes, you can. You would then need to obviously just get in touch with global support as well as your tutor, giving them the circumstances of why you wish to suspend, and they'll be able to give you guidance on what to do and how to go about doing that. So yes, it is a possibility. Will I be able to get any documentation from the university to assist me in obtaining my visa for my graduation? Yes, absolutely. They will be able to give you the relevant letter or documentation that you would need to actually sort out your visa. Are there any online live and recorded lectures? Yes, they do have some lectures that are recorded. But they are not live per se. So each individual tutor will have a recorded session that they will post on the online platform that you can visit anytime, whether it's midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. You can actually go through that at your leisure. If I complete my MBA, can I continue through to my MSc? Okay, that's very ambitious. Yes, absolutely, you can. You can actually go from an MBA and then go through and do an MSc. However, there's possibility that there are no credits provided, so you may need to start from scratch for your MSc. But absolutely, if you want to do 2 masters, you can actually continue from one to the other. Okay, well, sure, I've managed to go through all those questions quite quickly. I've actually grouped quite a lot of them together, so that's why we managed to get through there. Okay, so if you have any other queries, you're very welcome to email me. There is my email address. So very welcome to email me directly, or you're very welcome to also contact the university directly. Dr. Mahmed is also available if you need to ask him any academic questions related to the program. Your Stafford associates, recruiters are really waiting for you to submit all those documents. They're also available for any questions that you may have. As I said, the 26th of August is our deadline, so please do try and get those applications as quickly as possible so we can get that very, very important unconditional offer for you. And the presentation this evening will be emailed to all of you within the next 2 days. So please do look out in your emails for that, and you're very welcome to go through that presentation. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. It was a great pleasure having you here with us. Lovely questions once again, and I hope to see those applications coming in and hope that you join the program in September. A good evening to you all.